Light work, light work, light work, light work. I have never had such a love-hate relationship with anything in my life more than I do with Bungie's creation. Destiny and Destiny 2 are staples of my gaming career, and the franchise has provided so many memorable moments that I can recall. My first raid experience, my first Grandmaster completion, my first time realizing I picked the wrong class when I decided to be a Titan. A lot of things that pop out to me. Even with those memories, it's hard for me to still recommend this game in its current state to new players. Let me be clear. I have a stance that basically says I won't recommend this game, but if you play it, then we can drown in misery together. I hate it. It's great. You'll love it. And if you play Destiny enough to know what the difference is between a pinnacle and a powerful reward is, the chances are you're probably nodding your head in agreement right now. A powerful, complex, divided, toxic marriage that would do everyone a bit of good with separation, but yet we play it weekly just for them to kill off our favorite characters for absolutely no reason with lackluster missions that don't quite resolve anything. I sound upset. That's not my point here today. But as a side note, I feel like there's a better way to give us Amanda's personal ship besides killing her off. But I digress. If you've logged on to Destiny 2 in the last, let's say, month. Yeah, month is good. Then you've probably noticed a lot of things changing or breaking, depending on your viewpoint. And it's gotten so inconsistent that it's hard to ignore. I don't make the rules, but rule number one of ambitious video game is that it has to work. So when ambitious video game stops working, it paints a spotlight on other issues that were hidden right under the surface of said ambitious video game. And boy, are there multiple issues that's hard to ignore right now with said ambitious video game. Here's a quick list that I came up with in 2 minutes without any type of heavy thinking. Random disconnects during in-game content, story narrative issues falling flat, confusion around grindable weapons, questionable decisions in build crafting and choices of craftable weapons, random login issues that require the whole game to be suddenly brought offline, buggy and glitchy dungeon encounters, an ever-shifting meta of weapons that feels less like they've had proper direction and more like the company caving to online pressure from the top 5% that play it, a PvP experience that drives the casual player mad due to the inconsistency between matches, a sweaty quote-unquote competitive PvP experience in Trials of Osiris that rewards ability-driven builds and tricks over actual gameplay, other game modes going literal months without updates. I mean, granted, that last point is about Gambit, but still. I'm not exactly the biggest idea of saying screw it and starting with a fresh canvas and previous ideas. Before we go any further, I am legally obligated to tell you that any mention of the word canvas is not a diss or a shot at anything or anyone. Thank you for understanding. But there is something going on under the hood of Destiny 2 that's being suppressed and coming out in other areas, such as the ones I mentioned earlier, or maybe even some topics I didn't mention, and there's definitely more. I ain't even talked about the side of the D2 audience that lives to just be toxic and harass people online. Joy. Individually, all of these issues don't seem like much, I'll be honest. But when it's all compounded, there's an oh moment, right? It kind of happens that makes you step back like a done Cannon instrumental, man. And right now, I'm definitely taking a step back because I used to shun the Destiny 3 argument. But the longer the game operates at this pace, the more I consider it. Whenever a company drops an update that causes more bugs and glitches than the update supposedly fixed, there's an honest conversation to be had. And I'm not sure what's the real issue here, what's truly causing these problems under the hood. Maybe it's them being torn between updating current new gen systems and last gen systems. Maybe it's them splitting resources between their current game and their new one Matter, which is dropping in the future. Maybe it's them shifting focus to take Destiny into the TV movie stratosphere. Maybe it's Maybelline. All I know is that for the casual and for the most devout fans of the franchise, the next couple of months will determine much more than just an IGN score. I don't think it's exactly sink or swim time with Destiny 2, but it's more important than ever for Bungie to correct some things. And I think a good place to start is just making sure the game works consistently. I don't think that's asking too much.